we are adamantly against abortion. And as our administration would work diligently to end the practice, we would also work exhaustively to help reverse poverty, family dysfunction, relaxed sexual mores, and any other precipitating factors that lead to abortion. Incidentally, we espouse a consistent life ethic that also sets us against the death penalty, euthanasia, poverty, pollution, nuclear proliferation, and anything else that can end life prematurely. Now, as far as abortion, we as a country have recently crossed the 50 million abortion mark. 50 million. To put that in perspective, during World War II in Nazi Germany, 6 million people were killed. Again, we're at the 50 million abortion mark. Now, if I could take you back to Nazi Germany just for a minute, on Sunday mornings, trains would be coming down the tracks carrying moms and dads and little kids on the way to their concentration camps. They would be screaming and pleading for their lives as they slowly went by some of the Christian churches on the tracks. The response in those Christian churches on those Sunday mornings in Nazi Germany was to turn the organ music up and sing louder. Now we get aghast at that. How could Christians possibly respond to that kind of human suffering that way? We have to remember it was Nazi Germany. And in Nazi Germany, to protest would have meant certain death. The year is 2011. The country is the United States of America. Today, on a metaphoric track, in a metaphoric train, 4,400 little babies will be going to their deaths. And we, so many of us, just as metaphorically, sing louder. We busy ourselves with entertainment, we busy ourselves with extracurricular activity, we busy ourselves with too much work in order to have too much stuff. And meanwhile, this Holocaust goes on all around us, day in and day out. For 38 years, we waited for the next pro-life president. For 38 years, we waited for the next pro-life Supreme Court Justice nominee. Now, if anybody's noticing, that's just not working. I told the Raines News in Wilcox, Arizona, that with abortion, we have become our own worst terrorists. And we have. So how do you fight this form of terrorism? You fight it like what was done in the South in order to end segregation. That means pro-life people need to take to the streets day in and day out with protest signs, with prayer, with whatever. And not just in front of abortion clinics, but in our neighborhoods, in front of our neighbors. A lot of people in the South didn't want segregation to end, but boy, they wanted those protests to end more. And it was those protests that drove that legislation. And it would be the same with abortion. So as president, you'd see the first family out on the streets protesting regularly as we do now when we travel. We have stood in solidarity with groups protesting on the streets against abortion in Fargo, North Dakota, in Ocala, Florida, in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and Bakersfield, California, to name just a few places. I told the Lewiston News-Argus newspaper in Montana that as First Family, we'd be doing the same. And as First Family, we tout the development of more crisis pregnancy centers for those who want to keep their babies. In our travels, we have touted so many of these places, like in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Portland, Indiana, Hibbings, Minnesota, Newport, Rhode Island. These are places that provide scholarship help for moms wanting to go to school. They provide residential help, they provide food, they provide clothing. You know, on a campaign stop in Orange, Texas, pro-life advocate Paul Mayu who is the father of 11 children, said to me, "Children are gifts from God." He's right.